Today we have the biggest game in Park to Prem so far, the biggest game in Guernsey's history. It's the FA Cup third round. We've made it there for I think the third time now, and this time we've been drawn away against Southampton. Now yes, they're in the Championship, but they are top of the Championship. Southampton are a massive club, kind of local to us. 32,000 fans will be in attendance. It could do absolute wonders for our finances, and to top it all off, you might have spotted it, it's away from home. So we've got a Jack Dozen away day to look forward to. There is lots going on. We also have the small matter of playing Boston, who are top of the league. Let's run the intro and get into things, shall we? Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Park to Prem. I hope you're doing fantastic. Happy Monday. And yeah, today's a big one. 2 matches, but 2 that really could decide our season. We have that FA Cup game against Southampton. We also have the small matter of taking on Boston United, who are currently 5 points ahead of us in the league. They have played the same number of games as us, but a win here could put us within 2 points of them, with 16 games left of the season. Now, of course, last episode, I showed off a new tactic. If you missed that, you should go watch it in action. We beat Portsmouth, we beat Maidenhead, and from there, we had a really good November and a reasonably good start to December, but we have had a little bit of a wobble. So just looking at this run of games in November, 3-1 against Scunthorpe was great, 7-1 against Barrow, things you love to see. You ended up getting a hat-trick, a player who is obviously very important to the way we play. He's listed as our key player on our profile screen, but as you can see here, he has been out for a few weeks recently, and I am going to use that as the reason that we have had that recent wobble. Following on from that 7-1 win, a 3-3 draw was a tad disappointing, but it was a really big comeback. Falbo scored in the 97th minute. Things you love to see. After that, a 1-0 win against Gillingham, and then the FA Cup second round where we took on Oldham, a team in our own division, a team that we've looked very good against in previous meetings. On this occasion, we won 3-0. November was certainly a month to remember. The start of December was less so. This game was awful. We lost against Morecambe 2-1, which in itself was not a good performance. We actually only got a goal back very late on as a bit of a consolation. But in this game, Charles had a goal ruled out, and as I already mentioned, Yer got injured. It just wasn't a very good team performance, and this was kind of a sign of things to come. Robbie Yer is very important for us, and whilst perhaps results against a struggling South Shields team and a win against Notts County would alleviate those concerns, they did come back in a few recent games, including this one against Boreham Wood. A really good team performance. When Yer is injured, we don't have an obvious plan B target man. I have been using Arconte as the target man, the target forward, as it's of course renamed now in Football Manager. When you look at him in this role, he's not terrible. He's just not very good at it, and that has been a bit of a struggle for us. Got to give a big thank you, though, to Falbo from the penalty spot, looking very clinical so far this year. He scored 4 out of 4 as the 22-year-old. That has been where the bulk of his goals have come from, sadly. Elsewhere, you might have spotted it. Slimani playing as the centre mid on attack, having a really good performance. We did have quite a few injuries and suspensions during this period, which did lead to a little bit of weird rotation. One of the beneficiaries of that has been Sid Ali Slimani, and as you can see from this run of recent games, he's actually played really well. So after that 2-2 draw, we did manage to beat Woking in the FA Trophy, and then we took on Torquay. Torquay, remember them? A couple of episodes ago, beating us, was it 5-2? I lost count. This game was somehow even more painful. This game, we were 1-0 up in the 84th minute. Despite going a man down, McGuinness sent off, we were looking kind of good. I mean, look at the XG. We were amazing. And then they scored 3 goals in 5 minutes. 90th minute, 93rd minute, 95th minute. We lost 3-1. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if my computer wasn't so expensive, might have thrown it out the window after this one. A really good win against Dorking 2-0 was overshadowed by the 2-2 draw against Aldershot, a game that I'd love to see us do better in. They scored in the 93rd minute in this one to get a late goal back. Most recently, though, the team that we beat in the FA Cup, we took on in the league, and that was Oldham. And in this game, if I'm not mistaken, we did rotate things just a little bit here. You can see Yer still not fit to start. He was on the bench for this one. A little bit of a weird look at the back, and well, good news, we got a win, and that has left us fairly well rested going into the big one today, Southampton. I suppose the good news for us is, whilst our recent form has been a bit wobbly, the same can be said for a fair few teams around us. Hartlepool have been in some really good form, which has seen them climb up to second. But Boston United, who at one point were leading the league by I think 12 points, they are not far ahead of us. You can see a few draws in here. There is a reason they're dropping points, and it is Abu Kamara, their top goal scorer, 22 goals in 22 games, He got injured in the middle of December, and that has hurt them. He will not be available when we play them later today. We need to capitalise on that. Good news for us as well is Robbie Yer is back fit in the team. 17 goals to his name. Elsewhere, you might have noticed it, there's no real new signings, bar one. It's a defender. It's not a replacement for Perner. It's James Connolly. This guy is an okay centre-back. We don't have great centre-backs. This guy was the best player I could realistically sign, and we've ended up picking up the 27-year-old on £300 a week. He's kind of the jack of all trades, master of none as a defender. Doesn't have an obvious weakness, but at the same time, no real strengths. He's played one game for us. He got a 6.75. I'm going to hope that's not a sign of things to come. Now, one thing I want to talk about is something that's come up in the comments a lot, and I need to reveal, no, Perner doesn't have any blackmail material on me. The reason I'm continuing to play him, despite the fact it feels like he plays awful every episode, is he seems to play well when he's not on camera, and he's also just the best kind of left-back / right-back option we have. Look at his star rating. Apparently I'm meant to trust the star ratings. He's the best player in our team, obviously, as we've seen in recent episodes. He's definitely not. Now, for people wondering the state of play when it comes to Scott Williams, we have still got that sell-on clause. I decided not to take it in the end. You can see I could still sell it for 400,000, which is less than what it was last kind of summer. But what I will say is this year he's actually made 17 starts in League One. He's playing plenty of first-team football for Blackpool. It's seeing that value of his going up, and I'm hoping that between an FA Cup run and maybe selling this Scott Williams clause, in the summer, we will be able to go pro. Now, contrary to popular belief, I, as a YouTuber, I do actually read the comment section. So just to address a couple of things that I've seen people saying, you know, Jack, you have £400,000 in the bank. Why are you not investing in the facilities? And the reason I'm not going to invest in the facilities is because I need a bank balance above a fairly arbitrary amount to go pro. Right now, we are this semi-pro team. A lot of the teams in our division are fully professional. Their players train full-time. They're able to develop. So for that reason, that has to be the big aim immediately. And going pro generally takes around 1.1 to 1.2 million pounds from previous Park to Prems. Obviously, that kind of value varies a little bit. But as a result, I don't want to invest money into training facilities for players to only train part-time at. So I'm just squirreling away money. And as a result of that, even if I'd sold the Scott Williams clause last summer, it wouldn't have been enough to go pro anyway from past experiences. So for that reason, I didn't sell it when I did, because I think it could be worth more. On top of that, I see people saying, Jack, your goalkeeper's bad, your right back's bad, your left back's bad. Go sign someone. I can't stress this enough. Those players do not exist. If better players existed, I'd be spending the wage budget. I'd be spending the transfer budget. But the reality is, as a semi-pro team, and the way that Football Manager actually does map out the geography of things, the catchment area that we have as a club for people to join us and play part-time basically extends to the south coast of England. I cannot sign players from kind of South London, just to put it in perspective. The pool of players I have available to me is very, very small. That will change if I can offer full-time contracts, because right now we're just all part-time players who are on absolutely outrageous wages, I will say. But with that in mind, today's game against Southampton is really, really big, because if we get a lot of money from this game, it maybe opens up the opportunity to go pro, maybe now, certainly at the end of the year. I actually don't know how much money we're realistically going to get for this. I'm very excited to find out. We've got 267,000 in the bank. Southampton are currently top of the championship. They are, well, just very, very good. They're running away with it with Blackburn at the top of things. You can see their recent league finishes here. With that all said, shall we go and do the St. Mary's away day? It's the biggest away day so far. 32 and just shy of a 1,000 capacity. I'll see you on the south coast. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it, that in this FA Cup run, we've now taken on Portsmouth and Southampton, two of the closest Football League clubs to us. Of course, Portsmouth is on the coast here. Southampton is on the coast here. Southampton is bigger. I'm sorry, Pompey fans, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know where St. Mary's Stadium is. Turns out that when you're in a big centre of a city, the big square of grass is often the stadium. First things first, no solar panels. Get rid of a point. And also, car park. Thoughts on the car park? Reasonable car park. We have got a train line as well on one side, and then also a river on the other. Now, I did criticise, didn't I, Maidstone for their river. Should I be docking points for that river too? Potentially. Okay, do we have street view options? Oh. There's lots of circles in the shop. Do we go straight to the shop? You know what? We're going to do it. Where are we? Here we are. Southampton, 2016. Why is there an Inter Milan and Sparta Prague scarf? I'll tell you what, 2016, fantastic range of clothes available. Great hats, scarves, socks, ties. Who wears a Southampton tie? Even if you're a football fan, right? Do you actually own a tie of your football team? I feel like that's almost too far. I mean, we can look at the stadium from the outside, and Google's blurring AI algorithm continues to do absolute wonders. We're now blurring the faces of footballers. I'm going to guess that's Fraser Forster's face, but it could be anyone. I have no idea. It's a quiz. Who is that player? I mean, in terms of stadiums from the outside, it is one of the nicer ones we've seen, isn't it? Good signage. They have got a flag. It's not the most imposing flag in the world. I don't want to say, Southampton, you need to step up your flag game, but it does look a little bit poxy. I don't know if I should be docking points for the fact we can't go all the way around the stadium. You can't do a full lap on Google Maps. They probably should lose a point for that. I mean, when you look at the stadium and you click on the little man, look how little kind of area of the stadium is actually covered. Southampton, you need to step up your Google Earth game. Get your Google Map stuff sorted. I've returned back to the club shop because there's not enough content outside. Sorry, Southampton. Good range of Southampton footballs. Is that a beach towel? Knife and spoon. That's a fork, Jack. I know my cutlery. I mean, they've got a bar on one side, but I'll be honest, I'm very underwhelmed. I think York City away is a better away day than Southampton. Is that a hot take? Maybe. The St Mary's Stadium, Southampton. You know what? 4.5 out of 10. Weak away day. I feel unfulfilled. There has been a pattern recently that I give harsh reviews on the away day, and then as a result of that, we then lose and get battered in the resulting game. Now, granted, today we are taking on championship opposition, so maybe we should be expecting to be battered. In terms of the team I'm actually going to go with, it's a bit of a weird selection, but it's kind of a selection just based off recent form. Morgan Williams has played very well at right back and left back. I know his star ratings dropped down in recent times to 2-star current ability. I still think he's a very usable player for us. So he's going to play at right back. Connolly's going to make his live commentary debut alongside Wilson, who of course was another new addition to the defence. Midfield, we've got Hanusek, Ferguson, George. You might have noticed actually, Gibua, only 11 appearances this year. His contract runs out at the end of the year. He's not going to get a new work permit. He is leaving us. So I've kind of just not been playing him at all. I don't want to become reliant this year on someone who isn't going to be available next year. Up top in the final third, it's Falbo, your Charles. I do think on paper this probably is our strongest front three anyway. Let's see how they do. Okay, biggest game in our history, taking on Southampton. They have a lot of players I actually recognise. Pickford, Livramento at the back. I mean, iconic names, but are they as iconic as Wilson, Williams, McDonald? I don't think so. It's going to be tough. I will also say, there's quite a lot of empty seats. I wish the home fans had turned out more for this one. I was hoping for a bigger payday than we've ever had before. And the fact there's so many empty seats concerns me. I mean, good news, they've not got James Ward-Prowse on free kicks, at least for now. Our now is over it. Gonna hit it, does hit it. Outside the post and wide, that is 5 minutes into this game. Throwing on the near side, I mean, look, if we take the lead, I'm on the pitch. Falbo, Hanusek, plays it forward. I was really hoping they might play a rotated team. They have not played a rotated team here, have they? Brereton Diaz is through. The Chilean beast, one-on-one, scores. Have I turned up to watch us get pummeled in a live com? I am slightly worried that might happen now. I couldn't not do this game. We all know going into a game against the team who are top of the championship as a National League team, we're probably going to get absolutely battered. But we turn up to hope for the miracle. And if I didn't do this game and we won, then it looks sus. And if I turn up and we get battered, then people go, yeah, it's normal. People enjoy watching me have hope and then lose it, I think. Hanusek, give me some hope. My checkmate. Can he pull off the move needed? He hits it. It's not even close. I've really bigged that up for nothing. Walu over the free kick. Southampton with the ball, but we've got it deep in their half at least. Walu looking to switch it. I'll tell you what, we're looking, I was going to say a bit narrow. I mean, that's kind of natural. With the way that we play, we are going to look a little bit narrow. Brereton Diaz bringing it forward. One-on-one again. He's scored again. It's his 14th goal of the season. I mean, to win this kind of game, you need a little bit of luck. You need their strikers when they get in the one-on-ones to miss them occasionally. Brereton Diaz has unleashed 2 great finishes on us, and it's making me kind of sad. Just because I do think perspective is important, here is Brandon Charles, of course, a former Southampton player, compared with Brereton Diaz. Yeah, I can see why we're losing. I mean, 10 minutes left to the half. It's only 2-0. Why? Look, it's only 2-0. It's only 2-0. It's going to be fine. Hanusek wins it once. It falls to McTominay of all players. Gallagher, Wilson, just get it away. That'll do. I mean, if we get one before half-time, I'll start to believe. Go back, Wilson. Just go long or something. McDonald does go long, launches it. Robbie Yer, what's the keeper doing? What's happening? Is in the back of the net. Sean McDonald with the assist. Robbie Yer back from injury. It's 2-1. What's just happened? That is the weirdest goal I've seen in the match engine in a while. Who is there? It's Jordan Pickford in goal for them, isn't it? I mean, I've said go long. The players have listened. Why is it? Why is Pickford that? I don't know. It's a finish from about 40 yards out. Do not complain. Is it bad that part of me expected him to miss that? We got a throw in on the far side. We can't get it to 2-2, could we, before the break? Hanusek, whip it in. Gallagher, left back, hits it. Charles, former Southampton man, it's saved across the line. It could have been 2-2. Southampton with the ball on the far side, down the line to Afif. He's going to try and get it into the middle. Williams blocks it. Connolly now with it. Going forward, I mean, if he wins the flick on there, they've only got 2 players back. We actually have a man advantage if we get it forward quickly. And oh my word, McDonald's made a save. It was offside. He didn't know it though. Great stop. I think that's going to get us into the break at 2-1. Now, granted, we've not created very much in this game, but it's still 2-1 against championship opposition. I'm very happy. That was satisfactory at best, but we have the second half to improve. Tony Gallagher is anxious, Tony. It's going to be okay. Keep going. Look at that. Inspirational leader, me. There's Genghis Khan, Napoleon, and now they're going to add my name to the list of leaders of history. Valerie, the left back. Does concern me when their fullbacks go on the overlap. What is Connolly doing? Oh my word, Wilson saved the day. Connolly's a new signing. That is not what you want to see a player do in their live commentary debut, is it? We're on the second highlight of the half already. We've only played 4 minutes of this half. Can we just chill out a little bit? Although Brandon Charles, he rides a tackle. The former Southampton youngster released from their academy. Should have a bee in his bonnet. Gallagher, he's inspired. He's given it to Falbo and it's 2-2. We are massive. He's doing Irish dancing. What is he? Don't question it. It's 2-2. There's a river dance going on. I think is river dancing Irish? I don't know. I don't want to say answers on a postcard again. Answers on a pigeon mail. I should have just said postcards again. I might be getting carried away. The blood might be rushing to my head. It's 2-2 here. Charles is on a booking. You know what? He's not done that well today, has he? Let's be honest. Arconte, on you come. Elsewhere, Hanusek has been meh. I'm going to drop Ferguson deeper and bring in Slimani, because Slimani's been in some very good form. Throw in on the near side. It's only the 56th minute. I was really determined to make today's episode a shorter episode. This match isn't going to mean this is not a shorter episode. There's been 4 goals. There's still half an hour left. Modder and Livramento working it on the far side from the throw-in are now edge of the box, plays it across. Afif is there, and he's hit the outside the post. Are they shaking on the back foot? Have we got them rocked? I want to believe we might. Livramento's bringing it down the line, though. That scares me. Is that Slimani not putting in a shift? It certainly looked like it was Slimani. Williams, good header. Ferguson, George, keep it going. Oh, now, Zakiri, they've hit the woodwork again. I mean, good news, it's 2-2. Bad news, I have no idea how it's still 2-2. They are absolutely battering us. It's as if their players are all on like £65,000 a week, and our squad total is like £13,000. Robbie Yer can't win the header. Now lays it wide to Saigonov. McGrath looked offside there. Linesman, where's your flag? Get it out of your pocket, mate. Is he actually onside? He's actually onside. I was convinced that was off. I mean, it's 3-2 Southampton. It has been coming for a little while. There's no VAR, and I think it's let us down. That was definitely offside. See? Miles offside. Miles skip. We've got 15 minutes to get a goal. I've made 2 subs. The wing-backs at this point. Get on attack, lads. Go for it. We have to score. It's a cup game. There's no harm in going for more. Tanner Jones on for Trey George, who's let us down today. Slimani. Get on Mazzala on attack, mate. Get forward 2. In possession. More direct. Higher tempo. I mean, they'll probably score while I'm making all these changes from the court. Okay, we've been let off. But changes made. We're going for it. We're already on attacking. I'll shout demand more. Falbo's got injured. Do I get an extra sub in the FA Cup? I don't get an extra sub in the FA Cup. I mean, I'll level with you. It is less than ideal. Slimani and Jones, you can both go on attacking mid. That is my solution to this conundrum. More attackers. We are now down a man. Midfields are overrated anyway. You don't need a midfielder. You just stick a roaming playmaker in the middle and everyone else can go and attack in and around. Look at this. We've got a little box of attackers. Robbie Ferguson plays it forward. Conte in a wide area. Goes inside. Jones! On off the bench. He was offside anyway, but he has to hit the target there. Is there any time for anything to happen? He says, as he stares in the top left. 90 minutes. 6 minutes of added time. That makes me concerned the Falbo injury's bad. There's another corner. Saigonov whipping it in. Headed goalwards. It's not found its intended target. I mean, if we catch them on the break, it'd be biblical scenes. Livramento has hit the crossbar again. Have they hit the woodwork 4 or 5 times this game? It's been a valiant effort today, but unfortunately, I think it's going to end in disappointment. Yours offside. That is a depressing ending highlight to end on. And with that, the FA Cup dream's dead. I just have to hope that even if there's a fair few empty seats, we've made some good money today. If we've secured the bag, who cares if we've been knocked out? 3-2, I'm proud of the performance. The XG story tells the story that we already knew. It probably should have been a lot more to Southampton. Apparently it was a dominant Southampton performance. I think I have to agree with that. We are out of the FA Cup. Falbo is injured for 4 to 7 weeks, right before we play Boston United, who are top. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Thank you, Football Manager. Now here's the big thing. We've received £3,000 for losing, but we do get half the gate receipts of that last game. And if we just look at that match against Southampton, there were 12,000 fans turned up. 12? Are we that small time? I mean, I was hoping for like 50,000 showing up. I mean, that would have been an achievement in a 30,000 seater stadium. Does 12,000 fans equate to lots of money? I'm a bit concerned it's not going to be as much as I was hoping for. Yeah, that is a depressingly small amount, isn't it? I mean, we've made about 200,000 there, which, don't get me wrong, it's amazing. It's great money. It's not as much as I wanted, though. Right, we have got to dust ourselves off and go again. We've got Boston up in 3 days' time. It is third versus first. I wanted to say it was second versus first, but bloody Hartlepool have snuck in. A win here would be massive. It would put us back in the title fight with 16 games left of the season. It could be big. It will be big. Let's see if we can have a performance as good as the one against Southampton. If we replicate that, I think we win this next one. Okay, game number 2 today. Bit of a come down from reality. Bit of a, crashing down back to Vanarama national life. After a glitzy run in the FA Cup, we're here. Boston are top. They have been struggling a little bit. A win here puts us really close to them. And with that in mind, I want to win this game. Now, of course, this is a game that comes only a few days after our FA Cup game. As a result of that, change is needed across the board. A couple of bits of rotation. Falbo, obviously, injured for the game. Conte is going to come in. I'm not going to play him out on the right-hand side. Elsewhere, Tanner Jones coming back into the team to play at centre mid. Rotated him out for the last one. I feel like his kind of style of player who's amazing physically, is very well suited to non-league, not so good players. As soon as you come up against technically proficient players, he is just a bit of a pace merchant and not so good. But he's back in the team today. At the back, McGuinness and Benjamin come back into the back four. James Connolly drops down to the bench. Didn't wow me in that last game. Still getting to grips with the club, of course, having only recently signed for us. Elsewhere, Hanusek is the man who's actually been dropped in the midfield. Ferguson today going to play as the roaming playmaker in the middle. And if I just show you him at this role, I think for a team at our current kind of level, he's perfectly proficient at roaming playmaker. We'll see how he gets on today. Of course, Boston without their star striker, maybe this opens up the door for us to close the gap on them today, maybe leapfrog ahead of them in the next couple of games. Certainly, I would like a clean sheet today to really show we have managed to solidify our team at the back. Defensively, we have looked susceptible at times, but I do think with this system, with the kind of three-man midfield, it's definitely been better than when we've previously just had the two centre mids. I know I saw a few comments on Friday, people saying, well, this new system looks a bit frail in the midfield. I'm sat thinking the 4-2-4 was even worse than this. So, this is hopefully a system that gives us a good base. Naturally, against Southampton, you saw it with their wing-backs. They do look to overlap kind of at higher levels. At this level, just wing-backs don't have the ability to put good balls into the box for the most part. So with that in mind, it's something I'm a little bit less fearful of. I think it's way more important to crowd out the centre of the pitch rather than worry about the non-league Roberto Carlos or Cafu appearing in the wide areas, putting balls in from deep where you've just not got an attacking player to mark them out. Anyway, I digress. McGuinness has put it in, and Ura's headed it goalwards. I mean, maybe McGuinness is the non-league Cafu, because he's done exactly what I've just talked about there. Back in the team today after he was sent off and just been a bit of a disappointment lately. Maybe a bee in his bonnet, a point to prove, and, well, Conte laid it back to him here. I didn't expect a ball of quality. That was as good a ball as you're going to see. And Robbie Yar, the target forward, leaps like a salmon, stings like a bee. He's put us a goal ahead inside the first 10. I'll be honest, when we scored in the first 10 minutes, I thought we were in for a classic game, but now we're 10 minutes away from half-time. It's still only 1-0. I say that. I've talked a highlight into existence. A corner whipped in, headed away, but Yar, mopping up the pieces. The goal scorer, not just today, but in the previous game, lays it to our Conte. It's saved away, but Brandon Charles is there. All three strikers involved in the build-up play. And that was as simpler a finish as you're going to see. I thought initially the keeper had done really, really well to make that first stop, but Brandon Williams, he can smell the goal. He's just there sniffing away. He's found it. He's in the right place at the right time. First time shot makes it 2-0. 2 minutes left of the half. Great team performance by us. Boston have not created nearly enough in this game, and we are ahead. And I think deservedly so on the balance of play. I'm a little scared of complacency, but I'm just going to tell the players it how it is. You're doing brilliantly. More of the same, please. Okay, I am going to make my first change. I already know it's going to be a popular one. Gallagher's on a booking. We're going to bring in Perner at left back. See what he can do for us. A player who I feel like has become the nemesis of the YouTube comment section. I'll admit it. He has more bad games than good games, but on paper he should be amazing, and he is the best option to have in this kind of game in terms of on-off the bench, can play left back, can play right back, can also play as that roaming playmaker in an emergency. And I mean, speaking of the devil, here he is, look, breaking down the play. He's read all the mean comments and now he's got a point to prove, I think. I don't know why I'm sticking up for a regen player who does not even actually exist. What is Wilson doing? They've got a penalty. In case you can't tell from my reaction, audio listeners, or if you just tabbed out, they've got a penalty. Stupid foul. Palmer is over it. He's going to hit it. He scores it. And it's 2-1 with 20 minutes left. My only relief here is it's not Perner who gave away the penalty. Because if Perner had given away the penalty, I might have lost my faith with him. There's now a chance on the near side. Boston, they've got one. They've got a point to prove. They've got the wind in their sails. Wilson, who gave away the penalty, launches it away. Our Conte, I'll tell you what, it's a 3-on-2 at the back. It's a game of numbers. And Charles, oh my word, if he'd finessed that into the bottom corner, it would have been absolutely incredible. Boston committing both their wing-backs far up the pitch. It leaves them really, really open for that big direct counter-attack. I would love to get another goal here just to reinstate the 2-goal lead, to ease the nerves. And while Brandon Charles, he's hit the woodwork already, has an effort that's blocked there. Wilson wins the header, gets it down to Perner. Tanner Jones now with it, back with Wilson. Ferguson, we're holding on to the ball nicely here. Benjamin goes wide to McGuinness, lots of time and space for him. Gives it inside to our Conte, who bears down into the box. And I'll tell you what, I thought for a second there he was going to score from the impossible angle. 10 minutes left. You know what? I've time wasted at points this season, and it never works. So instead of doing any changes, I'm just going to shout demand more, even though all the players are sad. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure it's all going to be okay. 2 minutes plus added time. It's 2-1 here. 3 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 1 minute left. This, my friends, is a very big win. Was it pretty? Not particularly. Was it a classic? Absolutely not. But we've got the 3 points. We have beaten Boston United. And with that, we are going to move right behind them at the top of the table. 2 points behind them. Hartlepool sandwiched between us as well. It looks like it could be a 3-horse race with 16 games left of the season. I say that. 16 games left of the season is still quite a lot of games left. Man of the match, by the way, our Conte. I don't know if I would have given him man of the match, but there you go. You've got it, Tariq. An 8.1. Yeah, it wasn't exactly a game where anyone stood out. Now, like I've already alluded to, there's 16 games left of the season. I'm not sure when we're going to come back next time. When do we play Hartlepool? If we play Hartlepool next weekend, that's going to be annoying. We do play Hartlepool very, very soon. Do I do the Hartlepool game? Maybe I do the Hartlepool game, then do a time jump and do a game a little bit later on. Next episode. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I feel bored of the National League. Like, in the most polite way. This season, I've kind of, we've had the focus on the FA Cup. I've played a bit more between episodes. I feel like we've been here and got the postcard, and this is all very familiar. But I say all of that. Now that we're so close behind the teams at the top, maybe this is going to have a different ending. Maybe instead of chasing the playoffs, we do actually have a chance of chasing that automatic promotion spot. I want to believe it's possible. So yeah, not entirely sure what the plan is going to be next time. I think we'll do the Hartlepool game and then play a bit more and come back for a second game a little bit later on. It's been a weird season, so why not take a weird format for the episode? You guys can let me know what you think of the team, the current situation. Are you surprised by how few fans turned up for that Southampton game and how little money we made? Because I'll be honest, I'm blooming disappointed. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. We're back tomorrow with more Park to Prem action. Until then, take it easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.